Hey, what's up? It's me, Nintendo. Welcome to my very first YouTube video. Yay! This is something I've been wanting to start for a while, but I never really knew how, and I still kind of don't know how, so thanks for watching anyway. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I made my Battle Mercy armor. I don't really have a lot of progress pictures for this costume, so I thought it would be easier to do like a video walkthrough. So yeah, that's what this is. So starting off with this main piece here, this fun stuff. I made it out of this stuff called fibra. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is a lot like Worbla. It's a thermoplastic, meaning that if you expose it to heat, it will kind of mold into whatever shape you want it to mold into. I used it instead of Worbla because it was a lot cheaper. It's a lot harder to use though, and I found that out while I was making this costume. This is my first time ever working with armor, so bear with me. When I was making this, I was looking up other people's tutorials and how they made their Mercy armor, and pretty much all they would do was take a dress form and a piece of Worbla and they would heat it up and they would get their beautiful Mercy smooth shiny armor. I was like, I wonder if I can do that with fibra. So I tried. I made this into two separate pieces. You can see the line that divides it right here. So yeah, I was going to make the top part first on my high-tech handy dandy duct tape dress form. So yeah, I took my sheet of fibra, put it on here, heated it up, wanted to see the magic happen. It didn't happen. Fibra is a lot more sensitive to heat than Worbla is, and I didn't know that. So when I heated it up, it took like the texture and the shape of each individual strand of duct tape and all like the little crinkles I have here. So my very first attempt is this. Yeah. It's a real charmer, isn't it? And then this mess over here was I tried to pull it off my dress form before it was fully cooled, so it got stuck. So yeah, you gotta make sure it's fully cooled before you pull it off, or you'll end up like me. So, for my second attempt, which is this one, right here, I used my heat gun on a lower setting and I held it further away, and it took a lot longer for it to be moldable, but it worked out so much better because when you get it like heated up, it starts heating up really, really fast, and it's basically like working with chewing gum, and it's kind of really, really hard to deal with. And then even when I tried it my second way, it still wasn't like super smooth. It still was kind of like duct tapey, and I didn't really want it to be duct tapey because Mercy's armor isn't made out of duct tape. So I covered the whole top piece here with paper mache. Now you can still see it's not perfectly smooth because it's paper mache, but it looks so much better. And then I was pretty much out of ideas on how to make it look like perfectly smooth like Mercy's armor. So that's when I decided to go battle damage, and like what if it's supposed to look rough? So yeah, then once I was finished, I weathered the whole thing. I might do a whole separate tutorial just on weathering. I'm not going to cover it here, but yeah. This bottom piece here is not covered in paper mache, this is just fibra painted. Yeah. So it's really easy to attach fibra to fibra. All you do is heat it up in the area and it just kind of melts together. For these line details on the armor, I just used a black Sharpie and a ruler. For these, just a red Sharpie. These little side feather things are just made out of 2mm EVA foam that I just made newspaper patterns for, and then cut them out and used hot glue to attach them to the fibra. I will have another tutorial linked in this description on how to make newspaper patterns and all the other patterns that I love using in my cosplays. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. And these strappy things, 2mm EVA foam, same with this thing. If you look at Mercy's armor, she's got like these weird arrow designs on her strappy things. So I just used 3 different layers and just kind of had one shorter than the next to get that little arrow shape. And then it all attaches to the back piece. Back looks like this. I'll have a link to this in the description of how I made the wings and the staff, because I took a lot of progress pictures for those, so you can find those in blog posts in the description. I won't really cover them in here, but yeah, the wings just kind of slide into each little side, because it's PVC pipe. You can see here. So it just kind of slides in like that, and then it can come out easily. So yeah, this is all built on a piece of wood. I screwed in these little loopy things that I found in the same aisle as the PVC pipe. It's just kind of made for holding PVC pipe to walls or something, and I just screwed it into the wood, and then I covered this whole thing in cardboard. I kind of made like a shell of what I wanted the shape to look like out of cardboard. I didn't really use templates, I just kind of freehanded everything, so once I saw how it looked in cardboard, I covered it in EVA foam, and then it wasn't very strong, because it's just foam, so I covered all of that in Fibra, because it's really strong, it's really great. Yeah, it's really easy to loop the wings in. This piece here, if you do look at my wings tutorial, the picture I have of this back piece is not the same, because up here this used to be made out of 2mm EVA foam. Then I went to a convention and it started tearing, so I replaced it with a piece of 6mm EVA foam, and it's a lot stronger, a lot thicker. I love it. I haven't had problems with it yet. Yeah, so I'd recommend going with something stronger. This piece just kind of holds everything together. For this diamond thing here, I cut out a shape out of 2mm EVA foam, and then I did the same thing, but on top I cut out the middle. And then there's this really cool Mod Podge thing for jewelry making to make things look kind of gemmy, and I just painted like the bottom part red and then covered it with that gem kind of filling stuff, and it looks like a gem. It's pretty. I like it. It worked. I'll include the name of that in the description as well. For this spine thing here, you can see the shape of this bottom piece. I just made a bunch of these and cut them out and then hot glued them in like a layer. And it's not connected to this thing because I wanted the belt to be detachable from this thing, so it just kind of hides under there. This silver snaky thing is just fabric paint that I got. I have seen a lot of people use actual like silver fabric and it looks really cool, but this was really easy, so I just painted it on instead. For the actual belt, I just measured how wide my waist was, and then I just drew that on a piece of EVA foam, and then I just kind of free-handed the shapes here because it's like pointy in the back, and then it comes around to the front and it just attaches with Velcro. So for the actual like skirt thing, these are just made out of sheets I got at a thrift store. They were just yellow sheets, and then I got some dye, and it's really easy to do like an ombre effect, which is what I did. And then I weathered these too. I took them outside and I used a lighter to give them burn marks. I threw some mud at them, threw some paint at them. Yeah, the front one is not attached. You could if you want to. All I did, just kind of, whenever I'm wearing it, I just kind of tuck it in and it's fine. I didn't want to attach it because then I don't know how it's so like this removable and stuff. So I just kind of tuck it in. It's fine. Haven't had an issue. This thing, I made it the same way I made the belt. I just measured my neck, drew the pattern on the foam, and it attaches with Velcro. Yeah. The sleeves are just made from a pattern of a dress pattern I used for a different costume. If you have a pattern that has sleeves, sleeves don't really change. I mean, Mercy has like this weird layered detail kind of thing, but it was really easy to add on my own. I just kind of cut and then re-sewed it together before I sewed it all up like this. Yeah, so I just took like a basic sleeve pattern and used it for Mercy. And then for this white part on top, I made a newspaper pattern and just cut it out on the fabric. And instead of hemming the wavy edges that she has, I just painted the edges with Mod Podge, because if you do that, it like hardens the edges and it keeps it from fraying, and it saves you a lot of time, a lot of aggravation. Yeah. I also took some of my red paint that I used to blood spatter the armor, and I got some like gauze and I added some wounds because I thought that'd be fun and extra. Why not be overly dramatic? Why not? So I did that. Yeah. Oh, I attached this white part to the orange part of the sleeve just with fabric glue. Fabric glue is great. Saves me a lot of time. I'm not a huge fan of sewing. I know how to sew, just don't like it very much. Then for the leg armor, this is my first time ever making leg armor. I would like to remake this cosplay now that I actually know how to do a lot more. I would like to do a different skin, a recolor, and I'd like to make it not so battle damaged. But yeah, this is my leg armor. My first attempt ever making leg armor. I just did the same thing that I did with the back piece. I made a shell out of cardboard, covered it with EVA foam, sealed it and spray painted it. This was just metallic acrylic paint that I found at the store for like 50 cents. This was a silver paint marker that I used to like draw on her little details, and then the straps are just Velcro and EVA foam. Yeah. If you want, there are definitely better ways that I did not know how to do at the time to attach your leg armor. For example, my Ario leg armor. This is one of my leg armor pieces for Ario. It's really easy to attach a zipper in the back instead of having straps like that. All you do is I used hot glue to attach the zipper on the inside. So yeah, if you want to instead, it looks a lot nicer in my opinion than that. Then the actual boot part. This was the boots I used. There were these pair of boots that my sister was throwing out. I had this weird belt thing here. I just cut that off. Then used acrylic paint to give it like that orangey thing at the bottom. And I added some scuff marks with silver paint. And yeah. This was my staff. I'll include a link in the description for how I made this. I really love it. It's like one of my first props I've ever made. I really like it. It's really pretty. If you found this tutorial useful, please give it a like, subscribe. If you have any questions at all or any thoughts, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions I can. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.